This morning, we continue with our Alumni Speaker Series. Today's speaker is a member of the class of 1997. As a student here, his co-curricular life revolved around music. He was a member of the marching band, the jazz band, and the Philharmonic Society as a stage performer and an orchestra member. Also, he played the piano for the choir and for school masses. In his junior and senior years, he attended NOCA in addition to Jesuit. After Jesuit, he attended Loyola University, where he earned a degree in opera. At 33, young in opera years, he has already amassed impressive credentials as one of the world's greatest tenors. He has sung at the Metropolitan Opera in New York, La Scala in Milan, Covent Garden in London, and other prestigious opera houses in Europe and North America. Last month, he received the Beverly Sills Artist Award at the New York Metropolitan Opera, and he has been nominated for the Royal Philharmonic Society's Singer Award, the United Kingdom's highest recognition for live classical music making. Tonight and Sunday, he performs in the New Orleans opera production of Madame Butterfly. Back in 1999, our own Mr. Ted Main proved quite the sage when he wrote about our speaker's small role in a play while he was in college. To quote Mr. Main, "The role of the messenger was handled with ringing brightness by young tenor Bryan Hymel. Remember his name." Indeed, the opera world now knows his name quite well. So please welcome home from the class of 1997, Mr. Bryan Hymel.
Thanks, Carl, and thanks, guys. About 15 years ago, I was standing right here where you all are, itching for summer break to get here. I think, 2 or 3 more weeks before school's out? Awesome. Trust me, that doesn't change through your life. You know, certain jobs have seasons, and I'm fortunate enough to be in one of those, so I'm counting down about 5 more weeks of work and then summer vacation. But I just wanted to say a couple of things here today that I've learned, since I've left here and sung around the world and stuff. Music teaches us a couple of things, one of which is sometimes you have the melody and sometimes you have the accompaniment. And that's a life lesson where, we're strong men, we're here. You're here at Jesuit because you've proven yourself worthy of being here. But not always does a strong man have to lead. Sometimes you have to be the one who gives the support. And I think that that's an interesting lesson to remember in back of your mind. Make sure when it's your time to step up that you're ready, but when it's your time to let someone else lead, be that man and don't be too proud. Leads me to my second point, which is, and I learned this here at Jesuit, and it's discipline, specifically self-discipline. There are going to be times, I work for myself, and there's no boss, there's nobody over me making sure I study my music, I study my words, and I show up on the first day of work ready to do my job. That's all on my shoulders, and it's going to be on the shoulders of some of you when you go out and start working. So even on those days when you don't feel like working, or today when you maybe don't feel like studying, set yourself apart by doing the work that you know you can do. One more thing, let's see the notes here. All right, probably most importantly, the other thing music has taught me how to do is to listen to my fellow performers, to listen to the stage directors, to the conductor, to not be afraid to take criticism from other people, because that's life. No matter what, people are always going to have an opinion on how you're doing, what you're doing, if they can do it better. All the sports guys know about this, the armchair quarterbacks and the guys who coach from the lazy boy. But it's you that's out there. And don't shy away from what they say. Sometimes, Ted back there was a critic, and sometimes a critic says, "Oh, this singer, he didn't do a very good job," But every once in a while, they really hit on something that maybe we have neglected in our own work or practice. So don't be too proud to hear what they have to say. Getting back to listening, music and art in general can teach you how to listen to, right now, maybe your parents, your teachers, your fellow students and that. And it's going to change through your life. When you get older, if you're fortunate enough, it's going to be your wife, it's going to be your children, your parents when they get older, your colleagues. And another voice that I want you to remember to listen to is that voice of your God. And he's the same voice that's there in the back and speaking softly to you. And just have the courage to listen to that and to trust him. My wife and I had the privilege to go to Lourdes in France, and then later we went to Barcelona and went out to Manresa, which is, I'm sure you know, where St. Ignatius had his conversion. And if you get a chance to go over there and see these sites, you just get a sense of faith and how big God is. So, you know, I just want to remind you, listen to that voice that's in there. Ask for the guidance and the protection of our Blessed Mother, and do things for the right reason. Do it for the right reason, and God will provide. Two last things. I have a shout out to Alex Scalco, who is the little brother of my best friend from high school from here at Jesuit. And also to my cousin, Tony, his oldest son is here, Anthony Tefaro in the ROTC. Shout out. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it. Enjoy your summer.